I just want to pick up on something that I found myself saying in the last video I made only a few minutes ago, which was to do with the way you feel and the way you feel about the way you feel. And I just found myself sort of self-conscious of the fact I'm using the word way in there, the way you feel. And I'm wondering why you use the word way in that sentence. And sometimes I'm reminded of that song, The Way You Make Me Feel. You would never say, the way you make me see, or the way you make me hear, the way you make me touch, or something like that. Well, actually, yeah, you might say that. So there's something about compulsion, or compulsion, I guess. You're being pushed into a particular position in which a certain set of feelings become available. It's like there's almost this object at some distance in front of you, and someone is pushing you or pulling you or propelling you in the direction of that object until you're in close contact with it. You can feel it. And this journey that you move, this space that you move through, the land that you walk across, when you've been pushed or when you've been pulled or when you've been led through that space, that's the way. This is the way you're making me, and this is what I'm feeling when I get there. So there seems to be something in that sort of schema that's buried in that language to do with movement through space, to do with a small journey from one state to another state. And I think there is a pretty well-established correlation in cognitive linguistics to do with feelings being states. We understand states being locations. We do tend to talk as if when we move from one way of being to another way of being, that we do move location. And the way you make me feel seems to be a part of that. But I think it also features in other uses of the word way in relation to sense. So we talk about ways of seeing or ways of hearing. We don't talk about ways of tasting, I don't think, but certainly ways of seeing is very important. And I think what's happening there is that, again, it's a locational thing or a spatial thing, inferring metaphorical movement through space. And in terms of the way of seeing, it's probably a suggestion that in order to get to a particular point from which you might see things appropriately, you have to walk from where you are now to that other location. You have to make your way from this viewpoint to that viewpoint. And when you get there, then you will have achieved this way of seeing. You will have proceeded along this way until you get to the point where you can see things in that particular fashion. But I'm particularly interested in the feeling one, the way of feeling, the way you feel about the way you feel, the way you make me feel, and that kind of intimate relationship between movement and the acquisition of a metaphorical location which allows close contact, touching and feeling.